You know, that in itself makes me why I keep doing it. And there's two reasons why I keep doing it. My Aunt Virginia was dying of cancer, and it was a long struggle. And she would tell us when we were at WGBB and the Shark and everything else that she would listen to the show, and my uncle would tell me how happy it made her.
Right.
So that's why we continued doing it for such a long time.
Okay. Yeah.
Then recently, Michael LaGerfo, little Mikey LaGerfo, who was a 11-year-old, started a podcast.
Yes.
And he started the podcast. He had listened to us. We gave him a little rejuvenate, we get him ignited a little bit. He got a little fire underneath himself, and he started his own podcast. He's on Apple. It's called Blitz Sports. So within the last 2 or 3 weeks, Mr. LaGerfo, young little Mikey LaGerfo, gets Doc Gooden on a 25-minute phone call.
Yeah.
Which I thought was one of the best interviews I've heard, and Doc sounded great.
Right, but how did he get Doc Gooden?
He was in Farmingdale Meats.
Right.
Doc Gooden was?
Doc Gooden
made an appearance.
You know what?
He was signing.
Yeah. Doc Gooden made an appearance at Farmingdale Meat Market, Main Street in Farmingdale. And
I would have known.
Yeah, he was signing anything you brought in.
Yep.
And if you didn't have something, he had a autographed picture that I think he charged like $10 for.
Or you buy a steak and have him autograph it.
You could do that too, right? He could brand the steak for you. So little Michael goes down there and he's talking to him. Doc Gooden gives him his personal cell phone.
He's an awesome guy.
He tells him about the podcast.
Yep.
And he's been on now.
He's going to come on again. They talk on the phone.
They talk on the phone.
And he had a nice 25-minute interview. Now listen.
Nice guy.
Put this in perspective.
Great guy.
I started Limo Talk 12 years ago at WGBB. We went to the Shark. I started with Opie and Anthony. It's all me right now. Wait, hold on.
No,
then we go to the Shark. Then we go to Gov's Radio. We restart a whole network over there. Then we go to Mike Nicolia's
basement.
Did we not start a whole network there?
We did start a whole network.
Okay, so we started a whole network there. Then we went to Michael Nicolia's basement, and then we
took our shoes off.
We took our shoes off, and now we're at Strong Island. Now we've been here.
And who told you to come here?
And she told me to come.
Teresa Farrell told
me. We have yet in 12 years. We have never. We've been nominated 3 times for best podcast on Long Island on the best stuff. We've been nominated 3 times.
Correct.
We've lost all 3 times.
Correct. Me too.
One we lost to Joe DeJesus.
Well, we're losing to that school, right?
One we lost to Joe DeJesus, who's a music guy who works with the guy from Billy Joel, does the cover band, Mike Del Judas, who's in 20,000 arenas. So they beat us
20,000 leagues under the arenas.
And then we lose to a podcast in Belmore
with the
hockey Bruins with an entire school voting every night. They tell it to the students, vote every night for this podcast.
You can't compete against kids with social media.
So 3 years we've been nominated and got our asses kicked.
Right.
So we've never won an award.
No.
Mikey LaGerfo, in his 6 months, just got recognized by the Farmingdale School District for his podcasting ability at 11 years old and his interview for Doc Gooden. So my wife turns to me and she goes, oh, they're recognizing Mike. She goes,
you've been doing this for 12 effing years.
She goes, I go, where are you going? She goes, oh, I'm going to Farmingdale.
Go kill myself.
She goes, they're recognizing Mikey LaGerfo tonight. I go, for what? She goes, they're recognizing Michael for his podcast and his Doc Gooden interview. And I look at her and I go, are you fucking kidding me? I
didn't know this. This was at the school.
He got recognized.
Yeah.
He got called up.
I would have went.
They talk. Of course, you would have went.
Of course.
So he gets
backstabber.
Yeah, he gets recognized. He gets. Everybody knows he like the top podcaster now. So I proceed to tell my wife.
So you're coming in 4th next year.
So then I tell my wife, "Are you kidding me?"
Somebody else to
she goes, "Yeah."
the crowd.
She goes, "Yeah." They
nominated.
You bastard. You're
welcome.
Just got to get him warmed up. He's rolling.
Really, you're actually pretty good, Pat. You're good at getting at me. So I turn to her. I go, "What about me?" She goes, "They don't want you." She goes, "They want the 11-year-old Mikey LaGerfo." So I see him at the field a couple of days ago, and I go,
lock him in the urinal.
I see him at the field, and he looks at me, and I go, don't even look at me. I go, don't you even look at me. I go, did you get recognized by the farmer? He goes, yeah. They shout me out about the doc thing. I go, I hate you. I go, I've been doing this for 12 years. He goes, yeah, I know. He goes, so wait. So then fast backwards, and a week before, I decide to play his interview on the air.
Yes, we did.
Inns has no idea what's going on. Inns turns to me and he goes, wow, he's much better than you. So
Pretty good.
that's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
So I'm very jealous of
Michael's very
11-year-old Mikey Lachero right now.
As you should be.
Oh, come on, Pat.
Mikey, you were better than Graz when you were a twinkle in your father's eyes.
We motivated him, and now he's
throwing
getting
his
all the
doors off.
accolades, and I get nothing.
Yeah.
I get 17 viewers on YouTube, and I go, how are your views? He goes, oh, last week I did over 975 on Apple. How about you? I'm doing okay. I did 12 on YouTube. He goes, oh, you're doing good. He goes,
Doing good.
He goes, keep it up.
Not bad.
No, the kid.
One day you'll get as good as me. Don't worry, Graz. Keep at it.
And
You keep trying.
And now he's got this. He walks around the field and he looks at me, and every time he looks at me, he's like this, nodding at me, like you suck,
Yeah, like
and
you're
I'm really
terrible.
good, and I'm really good. So we want to acknowledge Mikey Lachero and Blitz Sports, and good job, little Mikey Lachero.
MJL
Very
24
nice.
Productions.
Yeah, MJL 24 Productions. I'll hear from his mother tomorrow. Oh, that was very nice what you said about him. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Did you have to curse too? So